feels so nice out here. It was so hot earlier today when I was at the square. I go to this farmer's market on the square. That's what it's called. It's called On the Square. It's really, really clever. But yeah, it was really, really hot. I was there for like 3 hours. Yeah, I had to count that on my fingers, like 9, 10, yeah. But yeah, it was really, really hot. And we have this canopy that we bought on discount for $4. And we're like, sweet, canopy. We're going to have our own canopy. Yeah, the canopy was made from tarp. Yeah, so it's not a proper canopy. It's just a tarp with poles and strings with stakes. And it's like a DIY canopy, but it just really doesn't work. It worked. It worked horribly is what I was going to say, so that doesn't make sense. I'm kind of tired because my little man, my sweet little guy who's sleeping right now, oh, isn't that just precious? Oh, yeah, he is so sweet. Woke me up at 6:30 this morning. Not sweet, not cute, not precious. Oh my gosh, he went to bed at like 8 o'clock last night, and I wasn't thinking about it because usually he goes to sleep at like 9:30 or 10 is the really good time for him to go to sleep. And someone's talking to me, but I'm going to ignore them. But, and then he'll usually wake up at like 8:30 or 9 the next day, and it's like, it's not too bad. He used to sleep in until 11 o'clock, and that was awesome. But, 10 hours is pretty good for him. If he doesn't get his 10 hours, he's a terror. He's just wild, like, and it's like pouncing on the dogs, and it's like, and just like whacking you because he's tired. He's trying to stay awake. But yeah, he was so tired, and he would not go back to sleep. He just kept smiling at me and just like wanting to eat, and just kept smiling and just like, just keeping me awake. And I'm like, just go back to sleep. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so 8 o'clock comes around, and I decide that I'll just go ahead and get ready because I was wanting to be at the square at 8:30 today anyway. So I did that, and yeah, it was just, I was exhausted. And yeah, and then the canopy not working because we brought the canopy because we thought that it might rain, which it didn't, which is good because, no canopy. Would have had to just pack up and leave. And heat. That's the other reason we wanted the canopy. Canopies are too expensive. Like the really nice canopies, they're like $60 for a cheap one, like a really cheap one. I don't really consider that a sales price. But apparently $4 isn't a good canopy either, so yeah. But I found out something really cool. Just checking my time. Okay, found out something really cool today. Apparently there is a heritage market, I don't know, some kind of like little craft festival thing that's coming up really soon, and I'm going to try to do that. The guy said that people who go to On the Square, who have booths there, usually will get free passes, so hopefully I'll get a free pass. And it's not too expensive to go there, but I had somebody say that not many people show up. Like last year, not very many people showed up, so I don't want to like dole out money to something where I might make one sale, it's just, it's not really very cost effective. But I'm looking forward to that. So I'm really hoping that we'll get our free passes to set up there. And it is going to be blazing hot, but it'll be worth it if I can make some sales. Like today, I made one sale. Last weekend was my only weekend to not make any sales. And I was really upset, and it was really funny because like the next day on Etsy, I made like this huge sale that helps pay for the newest Generation T book and some supplies and stuff. So that was good. But this weekend I made a sale, and it was really funny because a bunch of people like always come up to my booth, usually around 10. I mean, I get there a couple hours earlier just in case somebody decides to, yeah, but the early birds are usually the ones that want really good deals on stuff, and I'm like, I'm charging half the cost of, some things I'll charge half, like what I charge on Etsy, and I really shouldn't because I don't make a profit then, but it's just like, if it's a little kid, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to charge too much, but yeah, anyway, I had so many people that like came up. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I really like this and this." And I'm like, yeah, trying to talk with them because I just have such a hard time like trying to sell my own stuff to people when I'm actually, person to person. Online, it's okay, but yeah. But then as soon as I would tell them how much it costs, they're just like, huh. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because you go make this yourself and you're going to be paying as much as I'm charging. It's like, ugh, it's ridiculous. I really wasn't charging too much over what it cost me to make each item. So, yeah, and I should be charging more. But anyway, the sale I did make was really funny because the lady came up to my booth and she was like, looking at stuff, and I'm trying to do that whole small talk business sales, thing where you try to like talk to the person, strike up conversation, and like see anything you like, I'll just let me know and whatever, blah blah blah. So she said, she found like I need to take it off of Etsy, by the way, because it's still listed right now. But she found this wire knit choker that I made, and it was like really thick, and it had like orange and peaches, and like not oranges and peaches, just those colors, but like really earthy tones, really pretty. And she saw that, she's like, well, how much would you charge for this? And I'm thinking like, wow, I have that listed like $25 on Etsy, but I'm like, I know she probably wouldn't pay that much because people who come to the craft fair, they don't. Yeah, so I was like, I could have sworn I said $18 the first time, but apparently I said 16, which is like, man, but I $16, and she's like, oh, okay, and then she's like looking at all the other stuff, and like you're spending a while, and I'm doing a little small talk, and then she left, and then she comes back, and then I'm like, I turn around to CJ, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just like so bad at this, because like and he's like. Because he was the one who was actually he whispered to me, it's like, ask her if she sees anything she likes. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's really terrible. But she came back like 15 minutes later, and she's like, okay, now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to tell me that this necklace looks fabulous on me and that nothing else would look good on me ever again or whatever, something like that. And I'm like, I know, but it's just so hard when it's like something that you've made. I get really embarrassed. Somebody asks me the simplest question. It's like, did you make this? And I'm like, yes, I did. And then like I just close up because I just can't get beyond the points that like yes, I made this, but I can't tell you anything else about it because I'm too shy and embarrassed now that you brought that out into the open. But yeah, so she teased me about my lack of sales pitching or whatever you call it, but she bought it, and she bought it for $16, so I made $16 a day. It's pretty good. But it's really funny because I could have swore I said 18 the first time, but apparently I told her 16. It's not that big of a deal because it cost me I'm going to add this up, and I'm going to be really sad once I add it up. Okay, so I made like maybe like $5 to $6 profits. Not too bad. When you, well, yeah, you're supposed to include how much, like you're supposed to charge yourself, or not charge yourself. You're supposed to like the cost of materials and the cost of the time it made you like to make the item. And then some people say that you're supposed to include like the originality, like if you do one of a kind designs like I do, you're need to have like an originality fee or whatever in there somewhere, and I'm not good at doing that. So like, yeah, hey, I'm just happy I made a sale basically. So it's a good day, and it's a really pretty day outside, and if I wasn't holding the baby I would let you know, but I mean you could kind of see. You can't see our yard, but you don't want to see our yard anyway. There's no flowers anymore because we didn't do a garden this year. But anyway,